Moby Dick could be found here. And that is why he has marked that place there. He says they will round the Cape of Good Hope and head east. Now, Ishmael has his first shift as spotter at the top of the main mast. That was the first thing that we saw during this presentation. He spots a huge school of whales. They catch many. A second ship, which is captained by Boomer, comes. Now, Boomer is also a man who has lost his left arm to Moby Dick, like Captain Ahab, who has lost his leg. Boomer has lost his left arm. But Boomer is not that obsessed by the whale like Captain Ahab is. So this is a kind of contrast. And he also has replaced his arm with a whalebone and a harpoon spike as a hand. He says he saw Moby Dick at Madagascar coast. This is Madagascar, and this is a Madagascar coast. I have put some whales here so that to show you that the whales are there also. Ahab wants to. They talk and they say that they happened to see whales there, but it was actually a school of whales there also. Ahab wants to now. When we told previously, before they met Boomer in his ship, Ishmael had spotted a school of whales there. Now Ahab wants to leave that bounty and track Moby Dick instead. This is absolutely a nonsensical idea, because they are now going to get a lot of whales, and the purpose of Pickard was to catch as many whales, and they are catching whales for its sperms, and they can make different kinds of products out of this whale. That is the reason why ship owners send these people on voyages like this, whaling voyages like this. But Ahab is particularly obsessed by Moby Dick, and he wants to kill Moby Dick. That is his sole idea. Now, because of all these things, there is a kind of disturbance among the crew members. Now, so Starbuck, who happens to be the first mate of that ship, he comes, and quite often he explains things to Ahab. He says that this is not logical. What Ahab is doing is quite illogical. Turn back from what he is doing. But then, Ahab has reached a particular state of mind that he can never turn back. Now, Starbuck happens to read the Mariner's rule book, and he makes it clear that Ahab has usurped the wishes of the ship owner. But Ahab again does not change his decision. Now, at this point, Starbuck tries to, kind of form a group and question Ahab. And he approaches Stubb and Flask, who happen to be other members in the crew, other main members in the crew. But they resist. So they continue their journey towards Bikini Atoll, so that they can see this Moby Dick. They can find this Moby Dick. Meanwhile, so many things happen. There are so many fights and this and that happening there. Wicket once thinks that he wants to see what is their future, and so he throws bones, and then he gets a prophecy that he is going to die. For this reason, Cricket thinks that everything is going to, everything is going to end. Therefore, he makes a coffin for himself. This coffin is very unique in structure. From Queequeg is a tribes person, and therefore, in his tribe, coffins are shaped like canoes, like little boats. And in their tradition, they send the dead people on through water, so that they reach the end of the waters, where the waters meet the sky, and they can have peace. So this is his idea, and therefore he makes a coffin of that in that form, because he is quite sure that he is about to die, they are not going to get anywhere. That is what he thinks. But then Pip, there is a little boy called Pip in the crew, and he tries to cheer up Quick. Now, all Ahab tries to cheer him up by playing a tambourine. While they were talking, there is a small fight between Queequeg and some other person, and Ishmael comes to save Queequeg, but then there is a fight, and the man is going to kill Ishmael, but by that time Queequeg recovers from the trance, and he is about to hit this man. At that time, just at that time, the person who is in the duty to spot Moby Dick spots a whale. This time, Ahab and Pip join the rowboat on the hunt. Seagulls swarm around over the calm sea. Moby Dick appears for the first time now for a few seconds. Now, after this, they don't get to catch Moby Dick, but it goes away. They return to the ship. The whale is not restricted by the, the whale is not restricted, and they return to the ship. Ahab gives the spotter his gold coin because he had promised that while he was nailing it on the mast, that the first person who spots Moby Dick will get that gold coin. He gives that gold coin. Meanwhile, there is another ship that is approaching them. It is called the Rachel, and that captain asked Ahab to help him for some reason, but Ahab refuses it. Now, Ahab asked the blacksmiths to forge new harpoons for the task, and men are sworn to give their blood during this time, because Ahab spotted, now Moby Dick is spotted, and he is about to catch Moby Dick. So during this time, he asked his crew members to give their complete dedication. They toast to the death of Moby Dick. A wild storm starts, and now Ahab thinks that it is best to use this wind to go fast towards Moby Dick. Now, when it is very windy, you need to draw down the sails, like you have to roll the sails up so that the sails are not destroyed, and you don't need a sail at that time to for the ship to move. But Ahab wants to be very fast, and he wants to follow the ship. Ahab knows that there is 3 days difference between Moby Dick and the Pequod. That is the reason why he wants to take maximum speed. So, but Starbuck comes and tells him that it is not safe, and the sails needs to be rolled back. The winds would destroy the sails in its maximum, but he doesn't agree to any of these things. Now, when when Starbuck cannot do anything, he tries to cut the ropes, but then Ahab threatens him with a harpoon. And there is a point in the movie where Starbuck also goes down and tries to take a pistol and, wants to threaten Ahab, but nothing works out actually. Ahab is obsessed. He die at any cost. He can even die to get Moby Dick. That is how he does. Ahab and the men smell land. That is the atoll, Bikini Atoll. Ishmael remembers Elijah's prophecy, and he relates it to Ahab. He says that all are doomed as he ends a call from the ringing rings. Ishmael tells Ahab that there was a prophecy and all are doomed. Everybody will die if we go following the Moby Dick. But Ahab is not paying any attention. And meanwhile, during that time, at that very instant, they see Moby Dick again. So Moby Dick still carries Ahab's harpoon in his bag from their last encounter. Now all these people, they put 4 rowboats down, and it is fully manned. Ahab also is on one of the boat. Queequeg, Tashtego, and Dagon are there heading, they are leading all these 4 rowboats. All 4 strike, and all 4 boats are pulled along at speed. The whale turns, its huge mouth consumes the first boat. Ahab ends on the whale, clinging on to the harpoon rope. They have thrown many harpoon ropes on the whale, and Ahab is actually, tied, or he's pasted he is pasted on the whale. And by this time, Ahab dies also. And the men say, in the last breath, even during his last breath, Ahab is stabbing and stabbing at the whale. And his last words are, damn this whale. And finally, the whale goes down the sea again. Now, the men are heading back. They lost their captain and they are heading back towards the Pequod. When they are about to get inside, they see Moby Dick again. Moby Dick, now on Moby Dick, they also can see very clearly Ahab is dead and his dead body is stuck, and it is actually tied to Moby Dick's back. And they see that. Now this creates a kind of feeling in the crew, and they feel that they cannot let it end like this. They have to, you know, and it is a kind of movie trick also, wherein the dead arm of the dead arm of Ahab is like, it just moves a little, and these people feel that something is calling them, something is calling them for revenge. And so Stubb inspires these people, the crew, and they all go towards Moby Dick. It is their fatal end. That was a fatal decision that they took to go back to Moby Dick. Now, Moby Dick not only destroy the robots and the people on the robot, but he also ruins Pequod completely. He heads to Pequod and he starts ramming it like anything. Now the ship is only a little thing, and Ahab and Moby Dick completely destroys this Pequod. And there is a vortex. What in the water there is a vortex, and into that vortex both Moby Dick and this Pequod sinks. Everybody die. Everybody die except Ishmael, who remains to be the sole survivor, and he is actually clinging to the coffin made by Queequeg, the empty coffin made by Queequeg. He is on that, and he spends 36 hours on it. 36 hours later, the people from Rachel, we had seen another ship, Rachel. That ship comes and rescues Ishmael from there. And he remains to tell the story about Moby Dick and um, about our the captain Ahab and so on and so forth. So this is the story of Moby Dick.